Hi, Gene here with my thoughts for today. And today's going to be a little bit of a difficult day because I try to be a good person. And one of the factors in being a good person is not to engage in Schadenfreude. If you don't know what Schadenfreude is, it's a German word, and it means taking pleasure in the misfortune or the misery of others. And I really have to try hard this time not to, enjoy the misfortune of somebody in particular, that person being Chuck Schumer. And, first of all, just a little bit of a side. I'll get these sides over as quickly as I can. But one of the reasons that the Democrats, the left, they dwell so much on January 6th and the riot at the Capitol and calling it insurrection, so on and so forth, is because, and this is one of the really bad things about probably the worst ramification of January 6th, is that had that not happened, the left would have no violent incident, no example of right-wing violence, of Republicans engaging in violence to point at. That's the only thing they can point at, so they dwell on it over and over. Meanwhile, they ignore all the Black Lives Matter riots, and then we have now the Palestine will be free from the river to the sea, which there's a right to demonstrate, but there's not a right to invade, say, campus buildings and damage property. Certainly no right to vandalize Tesla dealerships and Tesla cars, and no right to harass and attack students. So that's Jews, and so the Democrats, the reason you don't find, you have to look very far to, first of all, to get a Democrat to condemn this at all, and some of them don't. They justify it. They rationalize why there's a rational reason that you can't blame them because they're so oppressed or whatever. And I don't want to get sidetracked on that. The point is that you have to, it's like pulling teeth to get, literally like pulling teeth to get a Democrat to condemn this kind of violence that we see from the left. And even worse, that you have to ask it all. You don't see some Democrats coming out and condemning this violence, just voluntarily coming out and condemning it, and condemning the wing of their party that supports this, and let alone engages in it, because these are Democrats. Don't make no mistake about that. Or they can not be officially Democrats, but we know how they're going to vote if they vote. And many of them, I am sure, do. So this gets us to the Schadenfreude part, because the Democrats, they never condemn this, and they always act like it's something that they can't imagine that it would happen to them, because they're on the same side. In fact, now that I think of, I remember an incident, one of these Black Lives Matter riots, and there was a white guy, white male, young white male, and he was in a room, I don't know if it was an apartment or a campus, I think it was an apartment, and there was a riot going on outside, Black Lives Matter. It broke his window, and he just shouted out, why are you doing this to me? I'm on your side. Why are you doing this to me? And of course, there's no rationality to these arguments. I mean, it's obviously they're doing it to him because he's white. It doesn't matter what side he's on. Just like you see these Israel, sadly, I'm sad to say it because I'm a Jew, but there are a lot there's Jewish Voice for Peace or whatever, the radical left-wing organization of Jews that are anti-Zionist, that are anti-Israel, that chant along with the Israel hater, with the anti-Semites, Palestine will be free from the river to the sea. And that brings us back to Chuck Schumer, who is, I guess he wrote a book. I don't know how many people were going to buy it. I didn't even know he wrote a book, but he wrote a book. He was supposed to, maybe you heard about this, he was supposed to go out, as you always do if you're a prominent person and you have a book out, that you go out and you promote the book. You travel around the country. You go to various bookstores. In fact, Newt Gingrich had a book out years and years. This was right after the Republicans won the Senate, the House for the first time in literally decades. And Gingrich had written a book, and he was in New York, where I was living at the time, and he was promoting his book, and I went to the book promotion. I also went to Victor Borgia. If you don't know who he is, you should look him up on YouTube. He was a classically brilliant pianist, but he also became a comedian, and he was promoting a book too. I remember he was talking about how he went to a airplane, to the airport, and he wanted to take a plane, and he went to the counter. This is a joke, and he asked for a round trip. I want a round trip ticket, and the woman behind the counter said, to where? And he said, well, to here. And it was, you get it. Anyways, Chuck Schumer, he was supposed to do this book tour, and he had to cancel it. Why did he have to cancel it? Because of a security risk, that he was at the risk of, there was a potential for violence at his book signings, even though he is a Democrat, because he did not filibuster or engage in a useless filibuster of this continuing resolution that just passed. And the left wing of his party they're just irreconcilable. They just unhinged. They are just going crazy over Schumer not doing well. He brought it on. Well, there's no justification for this, but you have to. One of the reasons for their anger is not just that he caved on that, but that he had originally said that he was going to fight, that the Republicans could not pass a continuing resolution without participation of some Democrats, which was true, and he was going to hold the line on that and force the Republicans to bargain, negotiate with the Democrats. And all these Democrats in the Senate, Democrat senators, they got behind him, and they said, okay, we're behind you, Chuck, we're going to do it. And then Chuck caved, you see, and then they were all left hanging out to dry. And it really made the House, because every Democrat except one in the House voted against the continuing resolution. And, well, they feel betrayed. And bottom line, getting bottom down to the line, that when Republicans get angry about something like that, about what they consider a betrayal, they just get angry. That's all. They don't riot. They certainly don't attack other Republicans. But now you have Chuck Schumer having to cancel a book tour because of fears that there would be left-wing violence against him. And that's where the Schadenfreude really kicks in, because, okay, this time it's not a Democrat. It's not a Republican. It's a Democrat. So you see, what you wish on others, what you condone on others, on Republicans, is now coming back to bite you. And as I said, I'm really trying not to feel happy about that, because it's really unfortunate. But I have to say, it's justice. We'll end on this. Saul Alinsky. Does everybody know who he is? Saul Alinsky, okay, he was a very radical leftist. He's not around anymore. I think he died in the 70s. But he wrote a book which is the guidebook for all these demonstrations and resistance, et cetera, that you're seeing on the left. He wrote a book called Rules for Radicals, that he dedicated to the devil. Okay, the dedication at the front of the book is to the devil. And one of the rules for radicals that he said, it was to make the other side live by their rules. And that's what's happening now. They made the rule that left-wing violence is okay, and now they have to live by that rule. They made the bed, they have to sleep in it. And I honestly, I was really joking about the Schadenfreude. I do not feel good about that at all, because that is not the only hope I have, is that something will come some good will come from this, and that good will be that now Democrats, now that it's happening to one of their own, that maybe we're going to see, I hope not, but maybe now you're going to see Chuck Schumer, never mind the bookstore, maybe he won't be able to go to into a restaurant and enjoy a dinner, just like Republicans have been, so like Sarah Huckabee Sanders chased out of a restaurant, which then went out of business, by the way. They lost customers because of this. But chased out of a restaurant, and Ted Cruz also had to leave a restaurant, I believe, by the back door because of harassment from Democrats, from the left. So now maybe that will, I hope not, but if it does happen to Democrats, the point is that now it has, at least in one case, happened to them. Hopefully we will have no more of these incidents. It will take no more of these incidents or similar ones or worse ones for Democrats finally to condemn the violence on their side and stop ignoring the violence on their side and just pointing at Republicans at January 6th, which is the only thing they can point to. And that's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments are welcome in the comment section below this video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.